There is a place on this earth where power is not given, it is not inherited, it is not negotiated. It is ripped, bleeding, and raw from the claws of whoever held it before. The African savanna does not crown its kings with ceremony. It forges them in something far uglier, in exile, in starvation, in ambush and open war. Every lion that has ever stood at the center of a pride, surveying his territory with that unshakable gaze, has paid a price most creatures simply would not survive. But the price of taking the throne, that is something else entirely. Because to become king here, you don't simply need to be strong. You need to be merciless in moments that will stay with you forever. You need to make decisions that nature herself seems to recoil from. And even after all of that, after the blood, the sacrifice, the cold betrayal, the crown may still turn around and destroy you. Today, we follow one of the most brutal ascensions ever witnessed on the Savanna. A usurper who dragged himself up from nothing, a mother who gave absolutely everything, and a vengeance so patient, so precise, it will make you question who the real predator was all along. This is not a nature documentary. This is nightmare fuel, and every single second of it is real. Every great takeover in the animal kingdom begins with a calculation, a reading of the terrain, the enemy, the risk, and sometimes, fatally, irreversibly, that calculation is dead wrong. These two brothers have been wandering for years, cast out from their birth pride when they were barely old enough to fend for themselves. They have survived drought, brutal territorial fights, and the grinding starvation of animals without a home range. They have slept in open ground with no cover, eaten what they could catch, and kept moving when staying still meant dying. But mere survival was never enough for them. They want a pride. They want females, territory, and the deep certainty that comes with legacy. They want the throne. And now, finally, they have found it. Ahead of them, beyond this swamp, lies a pride ruled by an aging king. His teeth are worn to stubs. His coalition has long since fractured. The brothers can smell it on the wind, the weakness seeping from the territory like a wound that won't close. The opportunity is real. The future is right there. But between them and that future lies water. Dark, still, deceptively calm water. And in this water, something ancient has been waiting. The older brother moves first. He's the bolder one, always has been. He doesn't pause to study the surface or read the banks. He has crossed rivers before. He has stared down predators and outlasted every obstacle this land has thrown at him. He knows what he is. What his confidence won't let him see is that arrogance in the wild wears the face of experience. He is barely 3 strides in when the crocodile strikes. There is no warning, no buildup. The water erupts in an explosion of force and noise, and the lion's roar, deep, reflexive, shocked, is cut short in a way that makes the birds scatter for half a kilometer in every direction. The younger brother freezes on the bank, watching his lifelong companion, his coalition, his only true ally in a hostile world, get dragged beneath the surface in seconds. The water goes still again. The surviving brother stands at the river's edge for a long, terrible moment. He doesn't roar, he doesn't call out. There is nothing left to call to. He simply turns and keeps moving. Because in the Savanna, grief is a luxury, and he has a kingdom to take, alone now, but still moving. He finds the pride by nightfall. It is smaller than he expected. 6 females, a few adolescents, and cubs barely old enough to walk without stumbling. The old king is nowhere to be seen. Perhaps he fled at the first scent of a strange male. Perhaps he simply understood that the end had arrived. Either way, the throne is empty. But empty does not mean unguarded. She is the first to step forward, a mid-aged lioness, lean and scarred across the shoulder from seasons of hard hunting and harder defending. The moment she sees him, His size, his lone male posture, the way he moves toward the cubs without hesitation, she knows exactly what is coming. She doesn't need to have seen this before. Some knowledge lives deeper than memory. It lives in the blood. He does not come to negotiate. New kings never negotiate. They erase. The biology of lion takeovers is one of the most disturbing realities in the natural world. A male who seizes a pride will systematically kill every cub fathered by his predecessor. Not out of cruelty, though it looks exactly like cruelty, but out of cold reproductive logic. Nursing cubs delay a female's return to fertility by months. Dead cubs mean the females cycle back within weeks. The new king's only goal is to plant his own bloodline as fast as possible. This lioness understands all of this in the way only a mother can truly understand a threat. Completely, physically, with every nerve ending already firing before the conscious decision has even formed. So she does not step aside. She charges. What follows is one of the most savage and heartbreaking confrontations the Savanna ever produces. She is smaller than him by 40 kilograms. She has no backup, no second wave, no hope of winning this fight, and she attacks anyway. She slashes at his muzzle with precision. She absorbs blows that would shatter the resolve of most animals. She keeps launching herself back between him and the cubs, again and again, bleeding, burning, refusing to yield a single step, because the only other option is to move aside, and that she will never do. She fights until her legs stop holding her, until the breath comes in short, broken pulls and there is simply nothing left to give. The cubs are gone before the sun rises. She lies in the grass, torn and still, and stares at something that isn't there. This is the real price of the crown, not paid by the king who claimed it, paid by those he destroyed on the way there. In the brutal hierarchy of Savanna sacrifice, she paid more than anyone, and every female in that pride stood witness. The pride remembers. The Savanna always remembers. Power taken in blood is never truly stable. You can seize a throne by force, you can hold territory through fear, but you cannot manufacture loyalty through violence. And without loyalty, a king is just a very large target. The weeks after the takeover are quiet, deceptively quiet. The new king moves through his territory with the heavy confidence of a male who believes the war is over. He patrols, he marks, he surveys the females with the self-satisfied certainty of an animal that thinks it has already won. He doesn't register the silence when he approaches. He mistakes fear for respect, compliance for submission. He has made the one mistake no ruler can afford. He has stopped watching the room. Because beneath that silence, something has been building, slowly, without words, through posture and proximity and shared grief. The pride has been making a decision. The mother who bled for her cubs is healing, and moving among the females, lean and sharp-eyed, is someone the usurper never accounted for. A young male from the previous bloodline. Not fully grown, not yet able to challenge a prime male alone, but old enough to remember everything. Old enough to hate with direction. The night it happens is moonless and windless. They come from three sides simultaneously. Females who held their silence for weeks, and a young male with fire where his fear used to be. They move the way lion prides move when they have collectively decided something, like a single terrible organism with one shared purpose. The usurper has perhaps 3 seconds of understanding before it begins. 3 seconds is not enough. What the pride delivers that night is not simply a counterattack. It is a verdict, delivered by the only court that matters out here. The king who thought he had rewritten the territory's rules discovers too late that those rules are far older than he is, and they have never once been suspended for anyone. By the time the first light touches the grass, the throne is empty again, and the scarred lioness stands over her pride in the pale morning, still marked, still wounded, but standing. To take the throne of the Savanna, you must be the most dangerous thing walking across it, but to keep it, you must understand something that raw power alone will never teach you. Nature does not reward conquerors. It rewards those who survive the full weight of what conquest costs. The usurper was strong. He was ruthless. He was willing to do what softer animals couldn't bring themselves to do. By every metric that has ever defined dominance in the wild, he should have won. But he forgot that a pride is not simply territory and access. It is memory. It is bonds built across years of shared kills, shared drought, and shared loss. It is a mother who throws herself into a fight she cannot win over and over until there is nothing left, because the alternative is something she will not accept. He forgot that the Savanna never forgives. Was the price of this throne too high? And do you believe the lioness was the true hero of this story? Drop your verdict in the comments below. If this hit you somewhere real, hit the like button and subscribe, because we have more raw, unfiltered, unforgettable stories from the wild that you will not find anywhere else.